Hello, we're at INTX in Chicago, and we're, as you can see, at the booth of Sigma Systems, a company which has been a long-time player in the cable industry with supply of mediation systems and other back-office components, which has really taken a leap forward over the past few years as a major supplier across the globe in the OSS space. I'm here with Tim Spencer, who is the president of Sigma. Thanks for taking some time to talk with us, Tim.
Nice to talk to you again, Fred.
So we're hearing about customers in North America like Cox and Time Warner Cable, Rogers, and several Canadians and many other companies in the U.S. and then companies abroad like Liberty Global. Tell us a little bit about what is driving this business for you.
Yeah, I mean, we've been experiencing just some incredible growth over the last 4 or 5 years for Sigma. We've been averaging about 25% a year for the last 4 years. And there's a lot of different market drivers. It is very regionally oriented in some cases. You know, what we're finding, going on in Europe versus what might be happening here in North America, there are some differences in market drivers. Really, Sigma has spent the last couple of years transforming our portfolio from what was in the early days of a very strong provisioning platform, a product that we were well known in the market, to really starting to think more broadly about the full end-to-end fulfillment stack of an operator and what their needs are, as they move towards rolling out of digital services, both to the consumer market and into the enterprise market. And really what we found is a bit of a void in the technology stack that allowed operators in a multi-channel environment to be able to describe their products in a unifying form, in an enterprise product catalog, and then leveraging that catalog to then drive the end-to-end fulfillment process from high-end offering and configure price quoting for a customer through the order management and eventually to the fulfillment stack. Really tying that end-to-end process together so that you can make it a lot easier for subscribers to purchase services from service providers, which historically has been somewhat of a disjointed process. Depending on what operators you're dealing with.
It's an interesting change in market dynamics, because when you came in with the provisioning system, it was kind of a mediation layer with all the OSS
That's right.
back office stuff, and that was kind of what people wanted. They had their legacy systems, they had their needs, but you had this special niche that you came in with. Now, it sounds like what's driving your business is that they really want an end-to-end solution.
Well, I think really when Sigma first got started, our provisioning platform was a catalog-driven platform. So the rules and the strategies of how to provision services was always driven from a definition in a product catalog that was part of our portfolio. But what we needed to do is drive that up the stack into some of the more manual processes that order management might bring into a solution stack of an operator, and up into the selling process itself, so that no matter which channel you were selling through, the call center, through a third party like a Best Buy or somebody of that nature, or through online web sales, regardless of the channel, you had one unified solution underneath that described the capabilities in the products and services that you were offering, the constraints, the rules that needed to be implemented on those products, and then tied that through the end-to-end fulfillment stack so that you don't have fallout of orders as you go from layer to layer in that architecture. And really, sort of fundamentally, it's tying that all together under one common catalog. And that's really what our customers have seen, seeing a lot of value on. That's driving a lot of the growth for the business.
Now, one of the things that you've brought into the telecommunications cable industry is this whole thing from the e-commerce realm known as CPQ, which cost...
Configure price quote.
Yeah. That is giving the operators an opportunity, I guess, both in the business services space and the consumer space, to do things that they can commercialize, they can make offers, they can basically set things up so that somebody can pick and choose what they want precisely on an order?
Exactly. I mean, our CPQ product and our catalog product are used by operators like Sky, for instance, in the UK and Italy and some other properties of Sky, where they're able to now, through web sales, allow a customer to truly pick a la carte their channel lineup, in the full suite of products and services they want on an a la carte basis, and create custom bundles for them for themselves as a individual customer. A big part of what backs that up is the capability within our catalog that also allows the product management organization within Sky to be able to very rapidly describe new products and get them to market. So they took a process that was 3 or 4 months long in getting new products to market, and now every single Thursday they launch a new product into production through one common product lifecycle management solution sitting on top of our catalog. So it's pretty powerful stuff they're doing. And then when you look at other operators that are getting very heavy into the business services market, it's really about enabling the sales team that are selling to that market, not just through web sales, but through direct sales, really putting capability in their hands so that when they are in front of the customer, they can configure, price, and quote a service for a customer based on all the rules and constraints that the service provider needs to put in place for that customer. And they can be assured that when they hit the button on that quote to say submit that as an order, it's actually going to get fulfilled.
Very powerful idea, not only in commercial services where that kind of nuance of detail is really important in the sales process. But now look at what's happening on the consumer side with, you mentioned a la carte. I mean, people are going to more and more want to be able, and we have the Internet of Things coming into play, to set things up on a very personal basis per customer and be able to tailor all the services instead of just having these blanket bundles to offer.
Absolutely. I mean, the concept of the old days of a rate code inside a billing system, which represented 100 different variables, that time is gone, and really you need a very intuitive catalog and a selling process that guides the customer or the sales agent or the CSR through the process, and that's really what we've focused a lot of our time on, and building solutions that can enable that environment in both the traditional services and more so in the digital services era.
Well, as you look out over what's happening now in terms of the trends, and you mentioned Europe is a little different from North America, where do you see things going from here as far as a lot of these companies are consolidating, a lot of companies are buying each other. How hard is it to bring something like you have into this, new consolidation environment where they're messing with different back office systems?
Yeah, really, we're not there to try and suggest to an operator that they need to rip out their back office systems in order to implement a capability around our technology. In fact, each of the pieces of our architecture are very much a best-in-breed solution. That comes out of Sigma's history in terms of the way we build products. So we always ensure that our products can individually be deployed alongside with the appropriate integration points with legacy systems. Because those systems aren't going away, but they're still not solving the problems around making it easier for customers to buy services. So we're stacking our solutions next to them and providing proper integration techniques to be able to use the information that those systems hold, but not necessarily depend on them for launching of new services.
So that catalog that you're presenting can be integrated into that whole back office system.
Yeah, it's really the only true enterprise product catalog in the world. When it was built to be the master data manager for product and services data, and it becomes that master through integration into other systems, web sales systems, CRM tools, billing systems. But eventually it becomes the master. And then the whole product lifecycle management process, that product management within a carrier would be doing, all gets centralized around that one tool.
That sounds like an opportunity for the business to really change its operations and how it sells things and the range of products, and do it with an alacrity, a time to market that has never been possible.
And as you said, it's in the consumer market, it's in the business market. I mean, the business market is very untapped still in many ways, although it's a billion dollar businesses. For many of the customers that we deal with today, the opportunities to grow that substantially is still there. And that's what we're doing with companies like LGI, Liberty Global, I should say, in Europe today, and many others in North America. The numbers and classes and types of services that are going to be coming both at the physical layer and at the virtual layer and into the services layer, I think are going to be astounding in terms of what we're going to see over the next few years. But then you really need a technology to be able to properly back that up from a selling perspective.
It's a long way from where we've been, and it's going to be very interesting to see how these business models unfold with these kind of capabilities in hand. Tim, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Great talking to you again.
Okay.
Thanks, Fred.